What is going on, my fellow poke enthusiastic elite geeks and otherwise cardboard connoisseurs of all different kinds? Trey here, coming at you from the back end of my shop, Studio 151, in the multimedia space, or at least a corner of the multimedia space. Anyways, if some of our newcomers to the channel aren't quite aware, short synopsis. In and around 3 years ago, I started conceptualizing and developing a multimedia creative art studio and game shop called Studio 151, which is where I am right now. Essentially a place to collectively clash the cultures of anime, Pokemon, and artwork of all kinds from these cultures, alongside my passion for multimedia editing, videography, and photography, to essentially just bring something entirely unique to my demographic by building this collective community-driven local game store. In February of 2022, we took over this location and started doing renovations entirely ourselves to kind of cut costs down in every way that we could, and to put it short and completely undermine the absolutely astronomical amount of work put into this location. As of October 1st, 2022, we had our grand opening, and then fast forward to October 2023, this year, we celebrated our 1-year anniversary, and it's crazy. And we're just continuing to evolve and organically grow this location to the very best of our abilities. We wanted to ensure that we diversified enough to always stay consistently busy in every capacity, and we've been just that. We've been humbly overwhelmed and super busy, and equally grateful in that regard. Anyway, more to come on that project as I literally am editing a video in regards to the developments over a 1-year period here at a small, humble local game shop that we tried to make as unique as we possibly could. So, speaking of the local game shop, and as many of you know, if you are dealing with Pokemon cards or any other trading cards of any kind at all whatsoever, many ways that we and other game shops, of course, butter our bread per se, is through buying, selling, and trading cards all day, every day. We've established and cultivated many networks and relationships with people over the time that we've been here, overall the time that I've been involved in Pokemon and buying and selling and trading, and through my online presence, and we are consistently doing a lot of just that. Especially the buying part, we like to stay stocked up on as many singles as we possibly can to give a wide selection to our customers that come through the shop. We've become really well known over this past year for carrying a wide variety of singles of every kind, from like modern to vintage, of course. We have a lot of customers that come through and snipe really clean quality cards and have been yielding returns from PSA in the 10s, and they've been extremely happy with it. So as that has been growing, obviously we have people coming back, word of mouth spreads. Again, just going back to that organic growth. Now, I think it goes without saying that everybody knows when you're looking to offload collections to a brick and mortar location or to an LGS, whether you just need some quick cash or whether you're looking to reinvest in other sealed product or you're trying to trade out for other higher end large singles, whatever the circumstance may be, there always has to be some type of margin in some regard for a brick and mortar location. I think it's obviously a different circumstance when it comes to somebody buying a collection personally for themselves, whether it's just a person-to-person transaction, but I think that's an entirely other different subject matter for another video perhaps. Now, I personally am a very firm believer in paying very reasonable prices for very reasonable cards. And what I mean by that is, if someone walks into my shop with an entire collection of crispy, clean, modern alt art cards, it's very justifiable to pay a much higher premium for something like that than it is when, again, hypothetically speaking, if a customer was to come in with 100 bulk V cards, say they opened up a bunch of the same tin to get Evolving Skies packs, and they had 100 whatever V cards. It's much more justifiable to give a premium price point for a premium collection that you know is going to be much easier to move, to redistribute, to either grade or resell, whatever the circumstance may be, than to justify paying a hyper premium for a bunch of bulk V cards that you know are going to stay stagnant in your cabinets for a long time, that aren't going to move well. Again, of course though, just my personal opinion. Regardless of my opinion, here at Studio 151, we always factor that into our percentages when it comes to an offer, when we're buying and selling and trading. Some people want to trade out for sealed products, some people want to trade out for other singles, some people just want quick cash. But no matter what the circumstance is, we always ensure that everybody is mutually happy as a Snorlax with a backpack full of snacks at the end of a transaction. Just makes everything go over much more smoother. So after rambling on for about 10 minutes of company time, today I just want to give you guys some insight in regards to a couple collections that we've picked up recently, big and small. I figured after a year of absolutely epic things occurring here at the shop that it's probably about time I start making a couple of videos like this. So 151%, one of my favorite parts about owning and operating an LGS is that absolute unknown variable, what could come into your shop every single day. Some days here have been absolutely crazy. There have been collections that have come through my store that I didn't even have the justifiable expendable capital to put the money into. And it's really cool sometimes giving people that kind of insight who, unbeknownst to them, had no idea that they were sitting on a collection of that kind of value. Now, would I have loved to purchase those collections? Most certainly. Could I have made an offer to somebody and they may have taken it? Most certainly. But in this line of business, I feel transparency is the best policy, because I always say you never know what someone knows, and you can tarnish the name of your business like that through just one bad transaction. So that's just a personal opinion again, but it's that unknown variable that is so much fun some days, because like I said, you never ever know what's going to come walking through the door. And there has been a cornucopia of examples of that kind of stuff occurring here in my shop, and it's super cool to see all the different kinds of things people have collected over the years, or even recently with like modern collections. So we're gonna go over some collections. Man, this is heavy. Like this. We're gonna check out this collection that I recently purchased. I may or may not have taken a peek inside already. Sorry, not sorry. This deal was done online with an absolutely legendary type Brolem within the Pokemon community. We'll break this down, give you guys some insight on what I look for when I'm buying and selling and trading this kind of stuff. We're gonna check out a couple other smaller collections that we purchased recently here in store. Anyways, let's shift over to another corner of the Studio 151 multimedia space to one of our top-down cameras and check some of this stuff out. Boom shakalaka. All right, trainers, we're good to go. We're gonna scyther right to it, cut right to it. Just gonna get into some of the last week's buys here, and you get these cards processed and tagged and priced and out. But editing this video obviously takes a little bit. Just gonna give you guys a short, simple overview of how to try to do all that kind of stuff. And with that said, I'll just do some like rough sifting here. I'll show you guys like a super small sample of some of the sporadic singles that have come in. This batch right here, to the best of my knowledge, is just mostly modern. We'll get into the bigger collection purchase I recently did after that. But yeah, we'll just kind of break it all down. Honestly, the sorting is absolutely never ending. There's one tray. Not only do we buy Pokemon cards, we also of course buy Magic cards, so I'm endlessly sorting these as well. Honestly, it is always so super sporadic. You would not know, but I actually had to pause this video to go out to the front to do a buy, or a trade and a buy, for these cards right here. Collectively, I will put what we paid for these cards up on the screen, and maybe even a potential like ROI on what we'll get out of these cards with their like current market value realistically. But yeah, like I said, every single day is something different, and these literally just came into the shop, so after re-sleeved, processed, priced, seems about right. Anyways, this right here, your pricing gun, maintaining that trigger discipline. This right here, absolute staple. These right here, also an absolute staple, as you can see, used quite a bit. And if you don't have yourself one of these, whether you're a card shop or just a collector, I highly recommend getting a card sorting tray. Get a lot of them. Get like 80 of them. Get a ton. I don't even know how many we have, but of all kinds, I highly recommend picking up this Titan Shield brand. This is like so super durable, so reliable, man. No breaking or anything, no cracking. These things are solid AF. Anyway, strongly recommend getting some of these as well. Now, usually when we take buys in throughout the day, we just have these little sorting containers or sorting trays that we have behind our counters, and we'll throw the buys into there. That way I know what's coming in today or over the last couple days, and then we take them out and we sift through them and we organize them accordingly. Obviously EX, GX, older variation stuff. Sometimes we break it down very specifically. So once we empty these out, we start sorting through the cards. As simple as this, you know, just putting some tag team cards together. And then once these are all sorted to the best of our abilities, we'll put them just in the trays like that. Then we'll start pulling cards out of the sorting trays and we'll start tagging them with those post-it notes or post-it tabs that I showed you before. And usually we just color coordinate them. We tag the cards like these because they are either going to go inside a top loader like this, because top loaded cards go into a container like this that we have on our front counter for people to look through or sift through, or they will get put into a container like this, and these are reserved for our cabinets. They're easy to pull out of the cabinet when they're like this, and you can put multiples in there, and the tag sits perfectly in between this spot right here. The way we have them layered in the cabinet makes them easier to pull out, and then they have this perfect fold on the back like that, into the case, lid back on, and boom, ready for the cabinet. Anyways, trainers, what I'm gonna do is grab a couple piles of the cards that we've purchased over the past week or so, and we're just gonna peruse through them. I'm gonna give you guys some insight into some of the random sporadic singles that come through the shop, stuff that we try to stay stocked up on, that we try to buy as much of as we possibly can. I'll throw some prices of some of the singles, some of the individual ones up on the screen here to let you know what we paid for them, some of the conditions, and what our ROI may potentially be on them. Again, that's, you know, taking into consideration some of these cards will sit for a while in the cabinets until the right person comes along, but some of these cards were purchased in bundles, some of them were purchased individually. Yeah, it's just how it goes. But anyway, we'll sift through here. We'll throw some jams on too, so you guys can just kind of enjoy the singles themselves without me talking too much. And then of course we'll get into the larger collection that we recently purchased from one of the Brolems. Shout out Third Eye. Nonetheless, enjoy this absolutely epic random pile of sporadic singles of all kinds. We'll end it off on this pile right here because, yeah, there is a lot to go through. This is probably about 70% of the stuff that I have off to the side right here, but for time-saving perspective, we'll leave it at that. These cards right here are ones that have already been processed and are ready to go out, so either into top loaders or the hard shell containers like you've seen to go into the cabinets. Yeah, it takes a lot of time to sort through these cards. It takes an equal amount of time to do some due diligence on them when people come in with large collections, and to make sure that everyone's happy in the end too. So some days we have, you know, 3 or 4 people standing around waiting. So I appreciate everyone's patience when it comes to that kind of stuff, because like I said, it does take time to assess conditions of cards and, you know, look up current market values of them and then give cash or trade credit consideration prices. But yeah, that's one small chunk, very small chunk of, like I said, stuff that comes in on a daily, weekly basis for the most part. Like, I'm not even joking, it is non-stop sorting, and we also do Lorcana and Magic the Gathering. So now let's move on to this spicy bundle. Whoa,
that's a heavy package.
Shout out to the Bro in Third Eye for conducting this transaction with us here at Studio 151 to repurpose some cards, some collections, and make sure they get into the homes of new trainers. Always super grateful for opportunities to buy up collections like these, and we got an absolutely amazing deal on this. Now, like I said, I already peeked inside of here. Let's rest assured that the Bro packed this much nicer, and yeah, I already read the bulk bind paper. What we're gonna do is get this all out here, get it on the table, and start sifting through it. I'll probably jump in and out with some commentary. We're gonna check out some cards in here that I might take into consideration for grading through PSA, but more or less, grab a cup of coffee, grab a drink, let's just kick it like a Hitmonlee, go through this absolutely awesome collection. There's a bunch of miscellaneous epic stuff, some complete master sets, some near complete master sets, and some other miscellaneous goodies. Again, much love Third Eye, and let's kick it like a Hitmonlee and check this collection out. My dude, man, thank you so much, bro. That is badass. That was definitely a personal one right there. Thank you, man. That puts me up to 3 of these Scythe 3X. If you guys don't know, I'm trying to fill out an entire binder page of these. Moderately played, lightly played, whether the circumstance is. But yeah, dude, thank you. What an absolute G, bro, Vonnie. Did some due diligence. These are actually pretty low pop. I think we all know what we're after in this, but this is a complete master set to the best of my recollection of Burning Shadows. Getting into the good stuff. Wow. Just wow, man. Now, as to be expected, Burning Shadows was infamous for absolutely savage print quality or quality control, as seen right here. Still, card is in absolutely great condition regardless. And the big boy from the set right there, so awesome, dude. Definitely not hitting the PSA 10, but the card is still super clean nonetheless, and definitely a desirable piece even in raw condition for master set just like this or any other collection perspective. So last but certainly not least, love this page, of course, because of Charmander and Charmeleon baby shinies. These two cards right here, the Jesse and James and Giovanni's Exile, are two cards in my personal collection goals this year. Nothing too crazy, but this card, the Jesse and James card, has been seeing a steady increase in price, and for the price point that that Giovanni's Exile card is at right now, I don't think it's unreasonable to say that this card will see a little bit of a value increase or a desirability increase over the next little while as well. This right here is a personal collection goal page for the end of this year, so I'm actually only 4 away from the Alakazam from Fates Collide that has the Lugia and Umbreon in there. Of course, a Mitsuhiro Arita artwork, but like I said, those two cards as well, personal collection goals, so they'll both be being added to the personal collection, and that puts me at only 2 away from complete pages right there. So definitely super excited for that. Love this card right here. Now that's super nice. SV60 and SV55 have both of these cards in the cabinet, so technically we could complete the master set. But like I said, a lot of these cards will be being broken down and put into our cabinets for singles, and of course some we're taking into consideration for grading, of course. Fingers crossed with a bad boy like this. And that is it's not bad at all. Damn. Might have to send it. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know. That is not too shabby whatsoever. For the meantime, we'll get him back into his home. What a gorgeous page. Absolutely love this Rayquaza, however you would like to enunciate it. Love this card so very much, man. Phenomenal. Anyways, friendos, that's gonna about sum it up. Thank you kindly, guys, for checking this out. And again, big shout out to the Brolin Third Eye for doing some business with Studio 151 and hooking us up with an absolutely legendary type collection. Super excited to find some of those cards, new homes with new trainers. If you guys are ever looking to buy, sell, trade at all whatsoever, and if you're located in Canada, of course, in Ontario, even better, give us a shout at Studio 151 because, of course, we are always buying, selling, trading, and playing. Anyhow, we'll end this video off by being absolutely stereotypical Charizard hype beasts and taking in these absolutely gorgeous cards. Again, guys, thank you so much for checking out this video. If you guys want to see more stuff like this, just do that generic thing and let me know in the comments. Mega punch that like button, subscribe, hit that bell, all that fun YouTube stuff that we all ask you to do because it actually helps. Hope you guys enjoyed the little bit of insight here. I look forward to making some more videos as often as I possibly can, but of course they are a lot of work. Well, I am, of course, running a brick and mortar business and doing all this kind of stuff that you see here. Thank you to everybody who comes through Studio 151 and patrons this location, buys product here, buys, sells, trades with us. We sincerely appreciate it. Like I said, the bread and butter of some of LGS's or a lot of LGS's are those variables, so thank you. But of course, as always, friends, you guys train on, game on, stay epic, stay awesome, and I'll most certainly catch you on the next one. Anime peace sign.